He. Peace be that night. Peace it is that night. And it's a sign of that night. And there's many authentic hadith and there's non-authentic hadith, many mention. We'll mention some of them. Some signs appear during the night itself and others occur the following morning. And what's authentic on that is what Imam Muslim reported by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh, when he said Abu Hurairah says we were talking about the Laylatul Qadr and mentioning stuff about it. When the Prophet ﷺ heard him, he said, anyone amongst you remembers the night when the moon arose and it was like a piece of plate, like a waning moon, like a half of a plate. That's the first one. Then there's other hadith. And Abu Dawud al-Tayalisi and al-Bazzar and Musnad Ahmad reported from Ubadah ibn Samit that he said, the Prophet ﷺ said, Laylatul Qadr is a clear and shining night, as if there were a bright moon in it. Look at that. Pay attention to the wording. A bright night. Notice how he said, as if it was a bright moon. As if it was a bright moon. The brightness of that night is nur. Allah put in it. The angels coming down as if it was it's not from the moon. The brightness is from something else. The angels going up and down. The brightness Allah put in it. The hadith also goes on to say it's calm and tranquil. It's a calm and tranquil night. The hadith goes on to say it's neither cold nor hot, nor any shooting stars in it are thrown in that morning. So those are some of the signs of Laylatul Qadr. The winds will be settled in it, as some scholars said, but that's the opinion of some scholars. Some scholars said one may see a dream about it. That's the opinion of some scholars. Some said they might see exceptional sweetness during their worship and salah in that night. And that's the opinion of some legitimate scholars. Some say the dogs don't bark in it, but that's not correct at all. There's no proof on that, and that's false. Now what's after that? Those are some of the signs before on that night. What's after it? The sun appears the following morning, white and without rays, beamless in the following morning. According to Ibn Hajar and others, it's possible to pinpoint the exact night by those signs. Al-Tabari in Ibn Arabi said that everyone gets reward of that night even if they cannot pinpoint the exact night. You get the reward, even if you don't know it. Some mentioned, and including Ibn Hajar, mentioned that you need to see a sign to get the full reward. Otherwise you get a normal day's worth. Only those who see the sign will get the reward of 1,000 months. Now that's the weaker of the two opinions. That's a very weak opinion. Anyone who worships Allah and it turns out to be that night, whether he's seen signs or not, inshallah ta'ala, he's going to get the full reward. As-Subki and others suggested that if one knows it, if he sees the sign, he shouldn't tell anyone. Because that's like a karama. That's like somewhat of a miracle to that believer. And it should be kept secret. Why? To avoid riyah, to avoid show off, to avoid envy. As the story of the verse with Surah Yusuf. And also, so will not occupy your time. You run around telling people, I seen this and that sign and I'm sure it's this night. Instead, you should occupy yourself in ibadah. And to avoid envy, it's like the verse when the father of Yusuf, Yaqub, told the son, لا تقصص رؤياك على أخوتك. When he seen the nice dream, he didn't want him to say that dream to them. Now the question everyone asks about this every year, we know the famous hadith when the Prophet ﷺ went out to tell the Sahaba, then he told them he was going to tell them the precise night. Then they seen two quarreling and he forgot. He said, I came to tell you and I forgot. That's the mercy of Allah and the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ that we don't know. It's from the mercy of Allah that he made his messenger forget it and not tell us. Mercy how? How is it mercy? Yes, it's mercy. Had we known it, I would be the first one to neglect all Ramadan, wait to that for that night and pray a little bit, do a little bit of ibadah, and then go back to sleep until the next day, next Laylatul Qadr. But he said it's in one of the 10 nights. So you can gain reward, much reward out of those 10 nights. Then it narrowed down to one of the odd nights of those 10 nights. Assume with me, it's one of the 365 nights. It's still worth seeking it. If he said it's one out of the 365 nights, it's worth seeking it in every one of those 365 nights because you're getting 30,000 days worth out of anything you do in it. Pay attention to this example. If I say I'm going to write a day on a piece of paper and I'm going to hide it, one day out of the days of the year 2012, and if you give me $1 on that day that I wrote and hid it, you get in return from me $30,000. A wise person with less than average mental capacity would get 365 together, set them aside, and every day give me the $1. That way he's going to be guaranteed not to miss out on that great bargain. Worst case scenario, he loses a few hundred. But what's he going to gain for sure? $30,000. That's Laylatul Qadr. Work one night out of 5 nights and you get 30,000 nights worth. That's Laylatul Qadr. Allah was merciful. Allah was merciful when He narrowed it down for us. He could have said it's one out of the 365 days of the year and it would be worth pursuing. But not even the month of Ramadan. He narrowed it down for us in the 10 nights. And the odd nights of the 10 nights, which is only 5 days, according to the most popular opinion by the ulama. Then you get someone who says, which one of those 5 nights is it? Now that's getting too stingy with Allah. Work and worship. Those 5 nights, 10 nights, the month of Ramadan. It may be the determining night that Laylatul Qadr, what you do, something you did on it, that pleases you when you stand naked, uncircumcised before the scale on the judgment day, the day of terror, the day you're going to stand before. It may be what pleases you when you stand before Allah, the creator of the universe, the creator of the heaven and hell. It may be one thing you did on that night that pleases you in that stand. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم. Mankind, fear your Lord, be dutiful to Him. The earthquake of the hour of the judgment day is a terrible thing. The day of the judgment day is a terrible thing. It may be that night that makes you amongst the most successful during that night. يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى. You see a nursing mother forget about her nursling. And every pregnant woman will drop her load. وَتَضَعُ كُلُّ ذَاتِ حَمْلٍ حَمْلَهَا. And you shall see mankind as though they're drunk, running around in disarray, drunk. But they're not drunk. But what's the problem, Ya Allah? وَلَكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ شَدِيدٌ وَتَرَى النَّاسَ سُكَارَى وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَى. But what? وَلَكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ شَدِيدٌ. Don't be stingy with Allah. It may be the immense reward you do on that day that gets you the success you're awaiting. It may be that night that gets you your book in your right hand and you run to your family saying, "Ha umqra'u kitabiya, read my book."